Process. Here comes Rubalcaba. Rubalcaba dribbling to the center. Rubalcaba! Haley dribbles her way through the player. Now serves across towards the far post. Arriving Cailin! Goal! Manoliliua at the edge of the 18. Touches it onto her right. Fires! What a save by Katie McLaughlin!
Hey, will anyone get there for DVC? It's Avery Van Horn! Turns, Plancarte! What a save by Megan Elms!
Tied by the last defender. Valentine comes out. Noel drills the keeper. Levis! And that is a DVC victory! Welcome, faithful followers of the Green and White. I'm Joe Hickey, the radio voice of DVC Athletics, and this is Vikings Soccer Rewind, a season-long trip in the Nostalgia Mobile to help us pass a long fall semester with no DVC sports. Today, we rejoin the 2014 Vikings, who are nearing the halfway point of their conference schedule. After coming out of the gate hot with 2 multi-goal wins over De Anza and Lake Tahoe in the span of about 32 hours, they've cooled off a little bit, and they've made a habit of playing generally great defense, but constantly getting pipped by a single goal. Sitting on a record of 4 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw, 5 of those losses were either 1-0 or 2-1. And even one of the 3-0 losses was 1-0 all the way to the 87th minute. Yes, Big 8 play had felt pretty unlucky to this point, but head coach Cailin Mullins was encouraged by the fact that her team was always in the game, and at some point, these bounces tend to even out. That said, today really didn't seem like the day for it, as they welcomed perennial champion Santa Rosa to the Vike. In Coach Mullins' 13 years in charge to that point, DVC had never beaten the Bear Cubs. In fact, in their prior 20 meetings against them, they'd scored just 14 times and conceded 66, playing to a record of 0-18-2. Even in 2011, when DVC fell just a single win short of dethroning the Bear Cubs as Big 8 champions, the title race was effectively decided by their 2-0 loss at Santa Rosa, as the teams were otherwise both 9-1-3. However, DVC came into this matchup with a pair of useful things in their favor for potentially breaking this taboo. First, their defense was shaping up into a formidable unit, with Megan Kappa now healthy and joining Dom Calloway and Avery Van Horn to lock down the back. Crucially, Kappa's combination of speed and physicality meant she could play either in the middle or at left back, which gave coaches the chance to drastically change the team's approach with a single substitution. Want speed at the back and some size and strength up in your attack? Well, then put Kappa in the middle, complete the back line with Daisy Lozano, and station Callie Goodman as your hold-up center forward. Want to keep your lumber for the defense and accentuate service and dribbling in the wings? Okay, Callie to the back line, Kappa wide left, and let Daisy go full agent of chaos on the left side of the midfield. Today's match, in fact, will start with one of those alignments, but it will turn on putting the other one into effect. Now, the second thing that stars in this match, almost as much for its effect on the recording equipment as the gameplay, was a 30-mile-an-hour wind headed straight down the field from one goal to the other. The flight path of the ball and its bounces were, in a word, unpredictable, which is maybe all right if you're hoping for it to finally bounce your way, albeit very randomly. As we begin our encounter, the Vikings are headed into the teeth of that wind. So once more onto the breach, dear friends. It's a gusty day in October 2014 as we send the line down to the paradoxically named Pleasant Hill for DVC Santa Rosa on Vikings Soccer Rewind. Brighten our outlook a little bit on this otherwise gray day. The formations are in. For the Vikings, a little bit of a change in the midfield. We're going to see Brie Gonzalez, Hannah Mazleski, Julia Curran, and Marissa Barros in the midfield. So that puts Jaime and Chavez to the bench. Up top, it will be Hannah Harris and Callie Goodman, repeating what we saw last week against American River. The defensive line will be consisting of Avery Van Horn on the right, Daisy Lozano on the left, Dom Calloway and Megan Kappa in the middle, with Megan Elms, of course, in goal. So recapping quickly, Elms, Van Horn, Calloway, Kappa, and Lozano. The midfield consisting again of Curran, Barros, Gonzalez, and Mazleski, with Harris and Goodman up top. And it will be the Vikings getting ready to kick off. The ball is at midfield, just handed to Callie by the lead match official today, Alex Delgado. Very quickly, the Santa Rosa formation appears to be a 3-5-2. We'll see if it actually develops that way. Morgan Jernigan in goal, Kendra Kane, Amanda Needlinger, and Chelsea Frostick. will be handling the defensive duties. Annie Studdard, Alyssa Hickling, Mara Linas, Darcy Forsyth, and Natalia Picano will be the midfield, with Cailin Belda and Taylor Halstenson up front. So that is the 3-4-3 operated, and we are underway here in Pleasant Hill, California. The ball knocked quickly back inside the center circle to Brie Gonzalez, now up ahead to Callie Goodman. DVC attacking from left to right as I am stationed here on this field, so they'll be attacking the far side goal, dressed in their all-green kit, white piping and white block numerals, along with a white DVC across the chest. Santa Rosa gets their first touch as the ball pops off the foot of Mara Linas in the midfield. Work forward to the 18, that is Hickling. She gets it to a teammate. Here comes a cross from the right sideline. That coming, I believe, from Taylor Halstenson. It's going to go out the back for a simple goal kick here inside the first 30 seconds, an attempt for Santa Rosa to build a little something. They are dressed in a road kit, white jersey, navy blue shorts, white socks, navy blue block numerals on the back, along with Santa Rosa across the back where a name might ordinarily be on other jerseys. Brie Gonzalez able to handle at the midfield the ball through by Elms on the goal kick. Gives it to Callie Goodman. No one really pressuring her. She's going to swing it out wide to the right side for Barros. Marissa tries to take a deft touch to keep it in play, unable to. And the near side assistant referee Rafael Padilla signals the throw-in already taken by Santa Rosa. Knocked back quickly to the number 17, Niedlinger. One touch up here for Forsyth, who's patrolling the left side. She manages to turn, gets herself around Avery Van Horn with a nice little step. Her ball into the center is blocked out quickly by Dom Calloway. It will be a throw-in again for Santa Rosa up here in the attacking third. Annie Studdard to take that, so we're trying to get a sense exactly of how they're attacking up here. Halstenson and Belda, the declared forwards. Halstenson appears to be a bit more of a right wing. Belda actually playing in the midfield. From what I can tell, it looks more like Hickling and Picano are up front. This ball is over the top towards the byline, just a little too long, and it's going to go out the back line where Elms can claim it. Looking to play in Darcy Forsyth, though, who was running straight along the byline. Megan Elms, dressed in her all-black kit, ready for this goal kick here, and we are quickly underway. No introductions of anyone, anything like that. The wind knocking down the goal kick. It stays here in the attacking third. Popped again, and again the wind is playing havoc with this. DVC is going to have that wind going from right to left, playing the ball back towards their goal pretty much all game. They're going to need to probably look to get the ball to feet a little more effectively, because in the air, there's not a whole lot of hope of aiming anything. Hannah Harris able to settle the ball here, plays it through the legs of number 15, Elias. Now over to the left, it's the number 4, Belda, running right up the back of Hannah Harris, who protected the ball well and has earned a DVC free kick here in the third minute. Ball is still in the midfield, very far out towards the far sideline. And it appears that it will be, I think, Harris to take it. Nope, she now leaves that for Daisy Lozano instead and works her way into the center. Here comes the ball floating in, looking for Callie Goodman. Can she defend it as the ball moves about? Marissa Barros able to get onto it, gets 2 touches, trying to work her way around the defender. Niedlinger finally gets a touch in, plays it out about 10 yards from the end line, but good hard work by Marissa Barros to stay on that and force Niedlinger into conceding the throw. It'll be Van Horn to take that from near the corner flag. This one looking for the feet of Hannah Harris. It's going to be played away, however, by Santa Rosa. Hooks nicely and stays in play for the number 21 on this near sideline, Darcy Forsyth. She tries to get it by a defender. Kappa forced to cross over from the left center back position to play that out, as both Van Horn and Calloway had been left for a moment. Here comes the throw-in again coming from the 21. Forsyth trying to play the ball forward down the left flank, looking for the 18, Hickling. Calloway will usher that one out, though, for a DVC goal kick. No harm, no foul there. We have now seen the first foul, so I'll go ahead and make a mark of that. It's the first actual statistic of the match. As the goal kick this time is able to cut through the wind. One touch from the number 11 there in the middle. That's Studdard. But it comes to Callie Goodman. She plays it back for Marissa Barros. Barros, little heel flick to try to go by Studdard. Not able to beat her, but she does drop it back to Brie Gonzalez with a little more space. Back to Calloway, who's going to bypass the midfield, looking for Hannah Harris, route 1 down the center. Played away for a moment. Julia Curran able to get onto it. Knocks it back for Daisy Lozano. Played down the left wing. Headed clear again by a Santa Rosa defender. Settled for a moment by Alinas in the middle. Now back to Belda. Hannah Mazleski with good pressure to take that off of Belda, but it's played ahead again by Santa Rosa. Dropped back by Lozano for Calloway. She's forced to play a bouncing ball there as Forsyth was crashing in. Ball comes to the number 25, Picano, who's going to play it down the left wing. Got the first attempt by Marissa Barros, who was closing in. Dom Calloway able to clear it to the near sideline, however, and it'll be a throw-in over on this sideline for Amanda Niedlinger. So she receives indications from today's match official, Alex Delgado. As we mentioned before, he's helped on the near sideline by Rafael Padilla. Albert Eng, who's worked at least 2 or 3 other DVC games, is patrolling the far sideline. DVC able to clear the ball away. It comes to JC, trying to work forward for Hannah Harris. Blocked away, however, by the number 8, Kendra Cain. Controlled here, though, on the left wing, and JC's going to try to go into turbo. She's gotten by Cain. Puts it across. Intercepted by Frostick, though, before it could get to Hannah Harris in the 18-yard box. Played through the legs of Bri Gonzalez by Picano. Natalia Picano working her way to the center circle. Almost got by Dom Calloway. Now drops it over the shoulder of the number 21, Darcy Forsyth. She'll play it back for Annie Studdert. Has a little trouble getting it onto her right foot. Plays it to the far post. Top of the 6, but it's just over the head, thankfully. Number 18, Alyssa Hickling. So it will be another goal kick for DVC as we continue to await the first shot on goal for either side. Just one foul committed thus far in the midfield by the Bear Cubs of Santa Rosa. So Marissa has apparently given up on the structural integrity of her pink headband. A lot of DVC players embracing the Pinktober today, and she throws that right in front of us here on the sideline. Ball played forward by Picano, by Alinas, looking for the run of the number 18 Hickling. No dice, but the clearance from Lozano is only as far as a midfielder, and it's come now to Belda on the right side. From near the corner flag, she plays a ball in, filtering for a moment. It goes over the end line, and it will be the first corner kick of the day after a deflection. So the ball was played in there, it looked like, for Hickling by Cailin Belda. So Santa Rosa have earned their first corner kick here in minute number 7. They line up, Alinas, Picano, Studdert, all working their way into the box. Belda as well, right there, a trio of them right inside the 6-yard box as the corner kick is lined up by, it appears to be Taylor Halstonson. And they all move now towards the top of the box, trying to get to it, headed forward by the number 11, Studdert, and just a little bit shanked by the 18 Hickling, who had it fall to her at the top of the 6. Luckily, she's unable to get enough on it, and Megan Elms jumps out to claim it. We will, I suppose, call that the first shot on goal of the game, so that's one of everything now for the Bear Cubs. Ball managed here at the near sideline for a moment by Barros. She and Bri Gonzalez able to trade it back and forth. Bri's got it, plays it down the right flank looking for Harris. Harris hadn't started her run yet, though. And Hannah blocks the ball out, still spinning. It does finally go out for a Santa Rosa throw on the near sideline as she blocked the attempt to clear the ball forward by Chelsea Frostick, the Santa Rosa captain. The throw will come down this near sideline, right to the head of Avery Van Horn. Knocked into the path of Bri Gonzalez, and it's taken away from her by Natalia Picano, but the verve still there from DVC's number 7. Bri able to take the ball back. Hannah Mazleski drops it back for Daisy Lozano at the far sideline. Daisy will play this centrally now for Hannah. Mazleski, not Harris. Ooh, plays it to Daisy again, got stuck in her feet for a second. She does manage to keep it in play and works it forward for JC, who's dusted Kendra Cain. Here comes JC to the left side, looking for room for a cross or a shot. She gets closed down, though, by Frostick before she can put anything in at the edge of the 18. Frostick clearing towards midfield. The defense needs to hold themselves a little bit as the ball is controlled for a moment by the number 18. Touched away, however, by Kappa. And for a moment, it seemed that DVC was going to have a chance to break. It's now fallen back to Cailin Belda. Belda squares this in the middle of the center circle for the number 11, Annie Studdert. We've got a streaker coming down the left side here. It's the number 17, Needlinger. Needlinger squares it up for Belda, but it's a little too short, and Avery Van Horn gets to it, and she's whipped down as Van Horn clears. Nothing given. Ball worked forward here, and it's a foot race between Frostick and Goodman towards the top of the 18. Frostick wins it and clears the ball away for a DVC throw in the attacking third. So nothing given there by Mr. Delgado for Van Horn getting whipped down at the top of the 18 after her clearance. Apparently not sold. Belda is the leading, well, one of the 2 leading scorers. She and Picano each have 5 goals this season for Santa Rosa. 3 of those in conference each. Barros, though, is taking a ball away, tries to play it into the center. Nothing doing, but the clearance is only as far as Goodman. Unfortunately, at a very awkward height, she's unable to settle it. Ball's cleared forward toward the center circle, where it's knocked down for a moment by the 18 Hickling. Unable to handle, though. Taken away from her by Calloway. It's now dropped back to Daisy Lozano by Goodman. Played to the left wing for JC. Got by the first line of defense, but cleared again. And what a slide tackle by Lozano. Took it right off the foot of Maralinas and works it centrally now for Callie, who's trying to turn. Looks to leave this in space for Hannah Harris. Another touch from a Santa Rosa defender, but it does come back to Callie for a moment. Callie's lost it again, but it's back to Dom Calloway this time. Calloway with a little step over in front of Darcy Forsyth. Drop back to Avery Van Horn. They're going to have to go all the way back to Megan Elms under the pressure of the number 18, Alyssa Hickling, who's even pressuring Elms. Megan, though, finally able to find Daisy Lozano on the left side. Bree Gonzalez, a little bit of a hospital ball, drops back for Dom Calloway, and it's controlled at the midfield after Calloway's clearance. For a moment, look out! Callie Goodman dropped by a tug from the number 7, Taylor Halstonson, one of the returning sophomores. She had an assist against DVC last season. Both matches between these two teams ended very much in favor of Santa Rosa last year. 3-0 the result in Santa Rosa. Morales and the Rabata twins getting goals. 2-0 here. DVC trying to fight that trend, among others. The free kick, though, after that foul is headed clear by the defense. Taken up again by Hannah Mazleski. And dropped back now, looking down the left wing for JC. Intercepted there by Madalinas. Played centrally now for Picano. And Picano able to escape the pressure of Bree Gonzalez to float the ball to Annie Studdard. Nice touch with the chest to get around Barros, and another nice touch. She tries, as she slides to the ground, to flood a ball forward for Hickling, but Calloway able to intercept. The last two Santa Rosa players descended on Calloway. She dropped it out wide to the right wing for Barros. Barros trying to find Harris, doesn't have quite enough juice on it to get it by the number 17 Needlinger. Clearance is only as far as Mazleski, and she's going to try to drop this over the shoulder of the two of them. Nice shoulder-on-shoulder play there by Hannah Harris. She's able to finally get onto the ball near the byline. Harris plays it off the defender, and DVC's got their first corner kick of the game. And first thing to put into the stat book here on minute number 12. Looks to be JC getting ready to take this. We're saying Cunningham and Smith, the goal scorers last season for Santa Rosa. So the good news is no one that scored against DVC last year is still in navy blue and white. We've got our first substitution here at minute number 12. Bree Gonzalez leaves the game. Yasmin Jaime entering, and she immediately takes up a station at the top of the 18-yard box for this corner kick. Hannah Harris in the 6, waiting for something to descend her way. Here's the ball in, headed away towards the left side by the Santa Rosa defense. In hot pursuit of that is Yasmin Jaime. She does manage to keep the ball in play and play it off of a defender. It goes out for a DVC throw. Looks like that will be taken at the far sideline. Drop back for, is that Kappa? Not entirely sure who that is. Maybe it was Yazzie. Now drop back for Daisy Lozano, though, on the far left sideline. Played into the middle. The wind playing havoc with it. Callie manages to get a poke to it, though, and just in front of Marissa Barros, Needlinger is able to get a touch and play it to this near sideline. Callie bodying off the number 21, however, and playing the ball forward for Barros. Played away with a touch by Santa Rosa, but back to Avery Van Horn. Tries to work it centrally, but did not see the on-rushing Alyssa Hickling. She plays it off of Megan Kappa and is able to keep on the ball. Does the same thing to Lozano. Now plays it forward looking for Belda at the top of the 18. Belda working it onto her right. Shoots, but it is a worm burner. And it is made sufficiently docile by Calloway's pressure for Elms to scoop it up. Elms tries to get into this one, knocked down by the wind, however, and knocked down after that by Annie Studdart. Trying to go through the legs of Hannah Mazleski is Picano. She does so and takes a shot from the distance. Maybe one of the reasons she's got 5 goals is taking opportunities like that. The ball out easily, and another DVC goal kick after that shot. This is a team that very recently was a regular participant in the state semifinals, the Final Four held every year. The last couple of years, not so much. They lost out on the league title, or the conference title rather, for the first time in 7 years, when they were unable to chase down Sierra last year. They're trying to chase down Sierra and Modesto right now. At the moment, Marissa Barros is trying to chase down Amanda Needlinger, and her pressure nearly puts the ball into the path of Callie Goodman. Springs free at the center, though, after the clearance. Worked over to the left looking for Studdard. Marissa Barros able to knock it down, though. Marissa drops it back for Dom. Calloway's going to turn back and feed Megan Elms at the top of her own 18-yard box. Pressure coming from Hickling. Elms hoofs this forward. Callie trying to body off Needlinger and turn around. Needlinger does well to body off the number 13 in green. Although a rough touch from Yaz Jaime has sprung the ball on the left side. Cross coming in from the number 21. That is Forsyth. Cleared away by DVC. Claimed now by the number 11 Studdart. Whipped down by the touch of Yasmin Jaime, and DVC have committed their first foul, and it'll be a free kick, and Studdart remains down for a moment, looking at her right knee. Slow to get to her feet. She now is on her feet and is limping a bit heavily, favoring that right foot. So it does appear that Mr. Delgado might bring the trainer onto the field to take a look And Annie Studdert, who is unable to put weight at the moment on the right foot. Smacked by Yasmin Jaime. So she comes off. The trainers will come over here, so there won't be a delay in play, and it does appear they will get a substitution in immediately. It is the number 6, Julia Lambert. There aren't a ton of substitutes available for Santa Rosa as Natalia Picano gets ready to take this free kick. It is from about 12 yards from the byline and about 5 yards outside the box. 2 in the wall. The ball is floated towards the far post and has way too much on it. Maybe the wind carrying that over the end line, but it will be a harmless DVC goal kick in a moment. Substitution as well for the Vikings. So we mentioned Lambert in for the injured Studdert. Over here, Marissa Barros coming off and Lizzie Chavez re-entering, a like-for-like swap on the right wing. So it's now Lizzie, Yazzie, Hannah Mazleski, and Julia Curran, which I believe was actually the starting midfield last week, occupying those 4 positions for the Vikings. The other possible substitutes for Santa Rosa, they have the goalkeeper JC Mariani available. She's played decent stretches of many games. Cristina Torres and Ana Guerrero could come in the defense. Meli Giron in the midfield, and Julia Lambert and Mali Herrera available in the forward line. The goal kick is claimed immediately by Santa Rosa. Natalia Picano able to move around Mazleski and Jaime. Tries to play the ball forward, but Lizzie Chavez intercepts. Leaves it for Yazzie, trying to work around Picano. Does okay there. Looked like that might have hit the hand of Picano. Not called, though. The immediate shot, however, is taken by the number 21 Forsyth, and that will be claimed easily by Megan Elms. Shot number 4 on the day for Santa Rosa. Certainly showing intent, but thus far unable to really concern the DVC keeper. They'll try over here on the right wing, though, as Cailin Belda was fed by a lob down the right wing by Hickling. Unable to settle it with her head. It goes out for another DVC throw. As for the Vikings, only one player apparently unavailable today. That's Isela Rodriguez. Otherwise, Sammy Heving, Jackie Chavez, Laura Aponte, Catherine Hafner, Tanya Selmer, and Kelsey Catania. Yasmin Jaime, who's already come in, along with Lizzie Chavez, who's already come in. Taylor Rentuma, and Ashley Scannell, all potentially available off the bench for the green and white. The throw-in claimed for a moment by Natalia Picano, but worked off of her by Hannah Harris. She's got Lizzie Chavez streaking down the right, going to try to feed her, maybe a little short. Nope, gets by Forsyth, tries to play it in for Callie. Unfortunately, it looks like she backdoored her just a little bit. The ball not quite on target for the run of Callie. Cleared away by Santa Rosa. It'll be a throw at the far sideline as we're into the middle quarter of an hour. Minute number 18 at the moment. Daisy Lozano will take the throw. Goes down the sideline looking for JC. Looks like it took a touch off of Hannah Mazleski, and she's managed to settle it. Crosses the ball towards the top of the 18-yard box, but headed clear by Forsyth, and working to have it get right through a defender is Julia Lambert. She's trying to work this into the path of Hickling. Might have hit it too far. Out comes Elms. Clears the ball. She'll need to get herself right back in goal because, again, the wind has knocked it down. Headed forward by Forsyth for Lambert. Knocked into the center for Belda. Might have controlled the deflection with a hand. Doesn't matter. Dom Calloway takes the ball away. Dom is going to work this centrally for Callie, who manages to work her way around Taylor Halstonson. Puts it down the right wing looking for Lizzie, but it's got too much juice on it. So a few little indications being given by Coach Mullins there about what might work better next time there. Lizzie was streaking down the right. Callie squared it maybe a little bit too much. Jaime and Goodman trying to put pressure on the ball for Santa Rosa. Kappa, unable to take the ball away from Hickling, but up comes Hannah Mazleski tracking back. She'll drop it to Calloway. Dom under pressure again from Hickling, who is just chewing up every blade of grass out here. He's going to force it back to Elms. Her clearance is headed forward by Santa Rosa and claimed by Daisy Lozano on the far sideline for a Viking throw. As we mentioned, this was a state semifinal qualifying team not too long ago. They were a finalist in 2008, made the state semifinals back-to-back years in 2010 and 11. And as we mentioned, they had won the Big Eight every season since the founding of it, until last year when Sierra pipped them. They're looking for the goal now, working it into the path of Julia Lambert. Out comes Megan Elms, and with her legs, she's able to force the ball into her gut. Well tracked by Avery Van Horn all the way on the right side of the box as the attacking forward line sees it for Santa Rosa, and so she was able to defend off the on-rushing player. Elms' long kick is handled by Mazleski, dropped back to Megan Kappa. Kappa able to dribble her way around Cailin Belda. Worked forward for JC. Nice one touch to the left flank now for Daisy, who trips over the ball for a moment. Is able to get back onto it, though. Lays it back now for Kappa. Worked centrally for JC, back to goal. She's got Daisy down the wing. She's going to try to go into the center, though. Just a little too high for Hannah. Lizzie was trying to work her way onto the back of it, but it is cleared by Santa Rosa. Back into the possession of Daisy Lozano. She tries to work the ball forward, takes a few pings off of Santa Rosa players, and they're able to play it off of Lozano for a Bear Cub throw. So thus far this season, this Santa Rosa team is certainly in it for a chance at the title at the moment. They've got 13 points. They're on even points at the moment with Sierra in second place, 3 points back of Modesto. There is a bit of a gap between the next one down, Cosumnes River, and handball called on Hannah Harris as the ball was worked forward for her. Popped up a little bit, unfortunately, as she tried to settle with the foot. So that will be a free kick in a moment here for Santa Rosa. As we were saying, Cosumnes River is sitting on 12 points right now, and then it's a pretty big drop down to 6 for San Joaquin Delta, DVC and American River on 4, and Sac City on 0. So very much a tale of two halves of the table at the moment, and this is a chance for DVC to spring an upset that could change the landscape quite a bit. The free kick from Halstenson is immediately punched back forward by Yazzie. She even gets ahead to the attempted pass up the field again. Julia Lambert trying to work the ball through, and it's cleared away by the Vikings. In fact, by Callie Goodman, who appears to have worked her way back into the defense again. So let me try and give you an idea of what we're seeing. It looks like JC and Hannah are now up top. Lozano has worked her way into the left side of the midfield with Chavez on the right. And then Callie Goodman is now back into the center back position. So taking advantage of that versatility, Megan Coppa has got the left back position now. Ball pinging about in the midfield. Errant pass is going to let it get to Yasmin Jaime. One touch from JC, gets it to Hannah, unable to quite stick it to her foot. Cleared away for a moment by Niedlinger. Knocked down by Mazleski. She's given it to Jaime. Yazzie trying to work around the pressure of Natalia Picano in the center circle. Drops it back for Callaway. Plays it out wide to the right side, but she splits Chavez and Van Horn. It's going to go out for a Santa Rosa throw as we're about halfway through half number 1. Elsewhere going on today, Modesto and San Joaquin Delta are playing over in Stockton. That match kicked off about 30 minutes before ours, so they're probably at a halftime by now. Cosumnes River and Sierra kicking off contemporaneously with the DVC match, as Yazzie is unable to hold the ball in. Took a big hop. The wind almost knocked it down for Lizzie, but it does carry over the line for another throw. Looked for Picano, but Yasmin Jaime is going to take it after the first touch. Picano, though, back onto it. Plays it centrally, almost leaving it for Hannah Harris. Here comes pressure from JC as they drop it all the way back to the center defender, Frostic. She plays it over the left shoulder of Lambert on this near sideline. Van Horn working against Lambert. It's Avery in possession right now. Drops it back for Dom. Dom able to clear. It's going to be headed forward, though, by Houston towards the top of the 18, right at about the half moon. Settled by Belda. Pressure of Yasmin Jaime is going to work it off of her, though. Here comes Jaime. Working forward, gets it to Lizzie on the right. She's looking to play it into space for Hannah, but it's got too much curve, and it ends up on the foot of Niedlinger for a moment. The ball forward, cleared by Callie Goodman with the head. And Daisy Lozano will run onto it and drop it back for Megan Coppa. As we're saying, Cosumnes River and Sierra kicking off at the same time. American River and Sac City will be playing in Sacramento at Sac City, starting at 6 o'clock tonight. And that will bring us to essentially halftime of the season once that match is over, at least halftime of the conference schedule. Everyone will have seen everyone once, and then we'll come back around, reset it, and see what happens after everyone gets a chance to adjust. Meanwhile, Santa Rosa trying to adjust to the DVC pressure, and they've yet to really create a big chance. Maybe the Lambert one, a decent opportunity, but Vikings managing to bottle up the Bear Cubs thus far. Kelly Goodman on it, plays it out to the left wing. Coppa stretches to try to keep it in play, and according to Mr. Eng on the far sideline, she just barely didn't. Throw in coming for Santa Rosa, immediately repelled by Kelly Goodman into the benches. Small showing of DVC fans here on this Tuesday afternoon. It's a tough ask. People have classes. But we appreciate those who have come out to support the Vikings as they look to defend this opportunity down the right flank. Cailin Belda puts the ball in. Yazzie Jaime able to play it out to Daisy Lozano with her first touch with a little bit of space. Played forward for Hannah. She's gotten her way by Kendra Kane on the left side. Plays it now forward looking for JC. Maybe a little long for her. Frostic's going to get onto it. But Hannah Harris, almost able to take it right off of her. Harris's touch, though, carries the ball over the line for a Santa Rosa throw-in. And we've got substitutions coming in for both sides right now, as it appears Taylor Rentuma will enter for the Vikings. And trying to get a look at the back of the jersey here, looks like maybe the number 23, which, according to my roster, is Ms. Ana Guerrero. She will station herself, and she's listed as a defender on the roster, but appears to be stationing herself on the right side of the attack, so go figure. Throw-in about to come down that far sideline. controlled in the middle by Belda. She works it centrally for Picano. Ball runs a little long on Picano, but she's got space to her left. Move that into that space now for the number 17. Work forward for Forsyth. Forsyth desperately trying to keep the ball in, but it does run a little bit on her. And it'll be a throw in here in minute number 25 for Avery Van Horn. Avery working her way up the sideline and hucks this one towards the newly inserted Rentuma. The clearance came to JC and she tried to play it into the path of Rentuma down the right sideline. Unable to do so. Clearance knocked down by Kelly Goodman. Still Goodman on it. Ball bouncing about here as two other Santa Rosa players try to converge on her. It's finally Alinas and Picano taking the ball away. Drop back for Taylor Houstonson, and she's going to try to run vertically. Slams into Yasmin Jaime as she plays the ball forward for Lambert. Lambert able to resist the arrival of Goodman, and the ball's played to the left side for Forsyth. Here comes Darcy Forsyth down that wing, working against Lizzie Chavez. Plays it off of Lizzie and has earned a corner kick. So by my count at this point, 4-0 Santa Rosa out shooting the Vikings. 2 of those on goal. 2-1 the foul count, also in quote-unquote favor of Santa Rosa, and 2-1 the corner kick count, also in favor of Santa Rosa. They're creating time down here. They're keeping possession down here. They've yet to really have a solid chance on goal besides maybe the ball played in for Lambert that Elms rushed out to claim. It'll be Houstonson to put this one in. Lizzie Chavez at the edge of the box, making the one-woman wall. Here's the ball descending into the 18-yard box over the head of just about everybody. Closest to it was the number 8, Kendra Kane. Ball played forward by DVC. JC, nice one-touch to get it to Dom Calloway, and she's put it back into the path of JC, but a little bit short. Taken over by Santa Rosa. Immediately the ball over the top looking for the number 20 Frostic. Elms comes out to claim it as it takes one hop at the edge of her 18 and beats Lambert to it. She's got to watch out for that, though. That wind caused that ball to carry maybe a little further than she was expecting. A big hop there could be just the sort of thing that embarrassment is made out of. Van Horn with it. Lizzie Chavez, nice step over to beat Forsyth down the right flank. Tries to play it centrally for Yazzie. First had Houstonson work on her and then tripped over the ball a little bit. Natalia Picano plays the ball wide to the right side. A bit of a mishit, it would appear. It's going to carry, nope, not all the way across the line because Daisy Lozano gets a touch to it. Unfortunately, shows too much of the ball to the number 8, Kendra Kane, who plays it forward. But it's a DVC throw on the far sideline and a substitution coming in. Looks like it'll be Kelsey Catania to enter the match in place of Hannah Mazleski. So that means, just to give you your reset now, it appears to be Catania and Jaime in the middle, Lozano and Chavez on the left and right wings, respectively, in the midfield. Rentuma and Chavez up front. Rentuma and Curran up front, I should say. It appears it was Hannah Harris who came out for Taylor Rentuma in that earlier break in play. Here's a throw towards Daisy Lozano. Her header unable to find a target in the middle of the attacking area. But up comes Rentuma. Good pressure. She works the ball off of a defender. Has gotten it to JC. JC still on it for a moment. Trying to drop it back after she, maybe surprisingly even to herself, beat Kendra Kane. Drops it back for Daisy. Crossed into the 18-yard box. Rentuma there. Hops up on Lizzie Chavez. She's going to have to chase it outside of the 18. Tries to work it to the flank against the number 21, Forsyth. She's worked her way towards that flank. Crossed in. Cleared away by Santa Rosa. And it goes out for what appears to be a DVC corner. Is that right? Yeah, they line up for the corner kick. Nobody coming to greet Lizzie at the sideline, so it will be DVC's second corner of the day as well. So up she comes. Jaime and Rentuma in the 18-yard box. Curran running at the top looking for it. Here's the ball in. It's not going to get by the first line of defense. Headed away by Forsyth. Avery Van Horn able to get to it. Here comes her cross into the 18. Heading from Jaime! It's not going to get on track, though, and it's going to go out over the left side. First shot for DVC, unfortunately not quite on frame. Jaime did get ahead to it, and we could see, maybe Jaime couldn't see because she had her back to goal, a little bit of uncertainty by Morgan Jernigan, who made a move like she was going to come out and actually opened up space for that potential header. As it stands, though, it remains 0-0 here in minute number 29. The goal kick from Jernigan pops up. Yazzie settles, but her ball dropped back for Calloway is going to be intercepted by Guerrero. Play to the left wing now for Lambert, trying to beat Avery Van Horn here. Not able to. She drops it back. Yazzie Jaime plays it for a moment off of a Santa Rosa player. Cleared away by Kelsey Catania. One more touch for Yazzie. It's got a bit of English on it, though, and it's going to go out at this near sideline. It'll be Needlinger to bring in the throw, the left back. Goes over the top looking for Lambert. Avery Van Horn to it first with the head. She heads it out. And Santa Rosa gain about 10-15 yards on that. So back to go get that will be Needlinger, and we can see a few other players getting themselves ready to potentially enter the match in the near future. Perhaps Ashley Scannell getting her warm-up on. Throw-in coming from this sideline from Needlinger, under the feet of Picano, but she's able to get back to it after a touch from Jaime. Picano does well to fake out Jaime for a moment, but she had nobody to play it to. Ball cleared away. Held in here at the near sideline by Needlinger after a slightly loose touch from the number 7. Lizzie Chavez able to intercept a pass destined for Darcy Forsyth. Lays it back to Avery Van Horn after a few nice touches. Ball forward by Avery. Lizzie Chavez taking a whack at that one to try to clear it away, and it took a favorable bounce to pop over to this side of Darcy Forsyth. Her ball forward for Picano, though, settled with a hand, so it'll be a DVC free kick here as we enter the final quarter hour of the first half. Chavez seems to be okay. Apparently the knowledge of her concussion is a common thing, so they're checking with her that she's in okay shape after that collision, because she came through and whacked that ball, and it took a funky deflection. Maralina stretching on Callie Goodman's free kick to deflect it away. Comes as far as Daisy Lozano. She drops it back for Kappa. Kappa now splits 2 defenders with her dribble, plays it forward for JC. JC working on it, trying to get a cross in. It filters from Lentuma. Lizzie almost got there before Jernigan, and Jernigan didn't get it clean, but her touch is enough to carry it to a fellow defender. Callie Goodman settles the clearance at midfield. Drop back by Lozano for Kappa. Centrally, played with one touch by Catania, out to the right wing for Chavez. She tried to heel flick it into the path of Rentuma with Needlinger closing her down. She ends up using her pressure to force Needlinger to earn a throw. Doesn't let her play the ball forward. She's got Forsyth and Picano showing for it. She's going to go centrally for Picano. Plays it back with a head for Halstonson, who's playing in the middle along with Alinas right now. Picano kind of playing a number 10 role almost behind the 2 attackers, which appear to be Guerrero and Lambert. Belda also working her way to that center. It's a very jammed up center of the pitch right now, the way that Santa Rosa are playing it. Settled in the center circle by Yazzie Jaime. Not a whole lot of time, but she does try to find Lizzie Chavez down the right. A little too straight. Nice play by Yazzie. The ball stays in play, but Lizzie stopped her run. The wind actually assisting that one as it worked its way down the sideline. Claimed instead by Needlinger. Worked forward for Halstonson. Now out to the near sideline, trying to find Forsyth. Her long ball forward's too long for Lambert. Avery Van Horn will get to it. Under a little pressure from Lambert, she'll drop that back for Callaway. Long ball to the wing, headed forward by the number 21. Forsyth, again the number 21 for DVC. Catania getting ahead to that one. And controlled again by DVC. Jaime tries to play this one down the wing. The wind has shifted, and this time it gets pushed out on the near sideline by that wind. Very tough to predict. It's certainly causing pretty much any attempt to play the ball through the air to be a crapshoot at best. This one, though, played to feet, is going to be intercepted by JC, and she's working her way to the right side. She's at the right-hand corner of the box. She's got Lizzie moving for it, as well as Taylor Rentuma. Tried to play it to Taylor running down towards the byline, but it's got too much in the way of legs on it. Gets all the way to Jernigan. Launched forward by Jernigan on a couple of hops out the far sideline over by the benches. The bleachers, I should say. A DVC fan pumps the ball back forward for maybe a possible throw in. Intercepted here by Ana Guerrero. DVC tried to settle. The wind intensifies going left and right. Ball forward by Belda. It's all the way to Megan Elms, and that wind is rippling the goal net. You can see it there. It's going to knock down Elms' goal kick a little bit. Settled in the midfield by Belda. Played away from her by Kelsey Catania. Good pressure. She tries to go down the left wing, but it's a miss hit. It seems like the wind is even affecting the ball on the ground at this point. It's so strong. We've seen a lot of miss hits. We've seen a lot more than ball out on the far sideline. Another Santa here in minute number 34. Going down the near side, or far sideline rather, looking for Belda, and she tries to get a flick on it. Can't find anybody with it, and we've got a substitution coming, so we were right. Ashley Scannell getting her warm-up on. She is now entering the game for JC. Also a substitution of a returning starter for one of the original starters. He stuttered back in the game after nursing her way back from the injury, and Darcy Forsyth out at this point. So taking a look at what Santa Rosa's running, they've only got Needlinger and Needlinger and Frostic all the way back. And then it appears to be a line of about, I guess Cain as well on that far sideline. So that's your 3-woman defensive line. And then you do have from near sideline to far sideline as DVC earn a throw-in. It appears to be Stuttert, Halstonson, Picano, Alinas, and Belda. And then up front, Guerrero and Lambert. Here's the throw in for DVC. Mishandled for a moment by Belda. She's able to stay onto it. Tries to go through the legs of Catania. Kelsey beats her at that game. Ball knocked back for a moment by Catania for Kappa. Her ball forward. A foul called as Catania absorbed one. And so a DVC free kick to come. Foul number 3 on the day against the Bear Cubs. Just 10 minutes to go here, and DVC, after a frustrating game on the road last week, battling back to fight one of the best teams in the Big 8. Very, very tough. They are able to handle the free kick, though, from Callie Goodman, who steps up immediately and intercepts the ball from Cailin Belda. Looks like Belda had a grip on Callie Goodman's arm, and she's looked back at the official to see if he saw any of that. Cleared away for a moment by Santa Rosa. Kappa tries to bring the ball back in, knocked back by Scannell. As far as Callie Goodman, she's trying to body off Julia Lambert, who stepped up to intercept. Lambert tries to play the ball in, deflected off of Callie Goodman. Did it take a touch also off of Lambert? Indeed it did, according to both Mr. Eng and Mr. Delgado there on the in the yellow ref jerseys over black shorts and black socks. It's our assistant referee on the far sideline, Albert Eng, and Mr. Delgado in the middle. Both of them assigned that. Actually, no, excuse me. They apparently have assigned a free kick and perhaps a handball in the attempt to control that by Belda. Here's the ball worked down the left wing. Played out again by Santa Rosa. This will be a throw-in for the Vikings, another 30 yards or so further forward. Megan Kappa stepping up to take that. Ana Guerrero trying to put a little pressure on the thrower. Throw-in comes to Ashley Scannell. She settles that, tries to put it into the left flank. Battling for it there is Daisy Lozano, working against Belda. She earns a throw-in as well. Here this comes down the sideline looking for Scannell. Her first touch isn't particularly hard, but she does manage to get to it at the corner flag. Started to play it into a nice spot to run in. Ball played into the center of the defense, though, by Santa Rosa as they take the ball away. Chavez was lurking there, unfortunately not able to get onto it. It's played forward. Taken away again by Callie Goodman. Her ball forward for Catania, that was a little loose. Maralinas onto it, and she gives it up for Picano, who's working her way forward. She tries to play it into the path of Julia Lambert. Don Calloway always attentive there. And she dribbles her way around Ana Guerrero. Has that pressure coming, works it to the left side. Daisy Lozano showing well for it. Lozano trying to work it to Ashley Scannell. Her first touch a little bit too strong, and it's intercepted. Claimed now by Picano. Picano dropping the ball back. Look out, Taylor Rentuma lurking there, but can't quite get the touch before Frostic does. Plays it to Needlinger. Needlinger's got 3 DVC Vikings converging on her. Tries to play a 1-2 with Halstenson. Intercepted by Taylor Rentuma, and she's going to work her way forward here from the back. Through the legs of Annie Studdard. Also through the legs of Needlinger. The ball's going to carry out for a Viking throw as she tried to feed Lizzie Chavez on the right wing. Van Horn preparing for this throw down the sideline. Looking maybe for Lizzie to run onto it. It has settled nicely for her. Lizzie looking for room for a cross, trying to work it onto her left here in front of Needlinger. She had a little room, but Annie Studdard is able to close it out. She plays that off of the on-rushing DVC midfielder Yasmin Jaime. That'll go out for a Santa Rosa throw. A few other goal scorers still on the field here. Forsyth, who left, as well as Hickling, have goals this season for the Bear Cubs. Lambert, who's on the field as a substitute, also has 1. Alinas has 3 this season. And Herrera 1 other one. Ball controlled in the midfield now by DVC as Santa Rosa tried to work forward. Yazzie Jaime's touch carries it as far as Ashley. Ashley's on it, works it onto her left near the top of the 18. I can't tell if that was a attempt to bring in someone on the left or a shot. Either way, it's in the hands of Morgan Jernigan. We'll go ahead and call that a shot. Second one of the match for DVC. Look out here, though. Counterattack coming for Santa Rosa. Nice touch by Lambert to put it into the path of Guerrero, but Megan Kappa is chasing her down. Works her all the way over to her own corner flag. Ooh, Guerrero able to dribble around her, but pressured by Callaway and Lozano, and Don is able to hoof the ball forward. Only as far as, can't tell who that is right there. Oh, the number 8, Kane. She drops it off for Picano after DVC tried to get to it. Picano dribbles around Jaime, now around Callaway, looking for space for a shot. Had a favorable bounce off of Van Horn, but Callie Goodman able to clear the ball away for a moment. Callaway trying to clear it more decisively, unable to, but it spits over here to Lizzie Chavez. Chavez working her dribble into the middle. Needlinger obviously using her hands. Nothing given for that, though, as she warded off DVC's speedy number 24. Ball essentially for Halstenson. Sprays it out wide to the right, looking for the run of Belda. Belda trying to get onto that. Kappa chasing her. Belda looking to get around the big number 2, but Kappa onto it, slides in, and has earned a DVC throw-in as she played it off of Belda. Substitutions coming in here as we are in minute number 40. Marissa Barros in for Chavez. Bri Gonzalez in for Yasmin Jaime. It looks like the number 5, who I don't think has been in at this point here, Cristina Diaz-Torres, coming in for Ana Guerrero. So Torres will station herself, it appears, back in the defense with Niedlinger and Frostick, as well as Kane. So perhaps more of a 4-4-2 now, as they have one more defender than they've had most of this game, at least in name. Picano on it with the pressure coming from Bri Gonzalez. The fresh legs there, forces an errant pass. Megan Kappa able to knock it down. Kappa still on it, looking for someone to drop it off to. Unfortunately, can't control it at the far sideline. Out it goes for a Santa Rosa throw-in. Quickly down the sideline for Lambert. She heads it back into the center to no one in particular. Catania's clearance, though, knocked down by Mara Alinas. Alinas trying to work it forward through Lambert, and she's able to run on to the dummy. Her ball into the center, knocked down by Kelly Goodman and cleared out the far sideline. Still in the attacking third. It will be a throw-in for the Bearcats. Just 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Vikings have thus far held Santa Rosa scoreless. They've yet to really create much in the way of opportunities on their own end. The wind certainly complicit at this point. It's making any play through the air exceedingly difficult. Belda unable to settle the ball off the throw-in, and DVC have earned a throw. Sierra's current conference record, 8-3-1. They are 4-1-1 in conference, as we mentioned, 13 points thus far after an opening loss to Sierra, who they will, of course, face next Tuesday. They have only had one other blemish, and that's a 2-2 draw with Modesto, so you can't sneeze at that. Prestige wins as well against City College of San Francisco and Feather River. A very good team in front of us here. The Vikings, at this point, should be very proud of the way they've acquitted themselves and are looking to finish off the half authoritatively and maybe in style. Daisy Lozano trying to work her way forward. It takes a favorable deflection for Santa Rosa, though. Cailin Belda trying to work her way down the right flank. She plays it off of Kappa and has earned a Santa Rosa corner kick, third of the game. And with just 3 minutes, the Vikings will look to defend this and try to get themselves into halftime, at the very least, still level. Over at that far sideline, I believe in the past it was Halstenson taking them. I think that's the number 7. 5 in the box for Santa Rosa, including one right at the near post in front of Elms. They elect to lay it back, however, to Kendra Kane. She's unable to work the ball forward, though, as Megan Kappa smothers that at the feet of Santa Rosa's number 8. Ball worked forward now for Taylor Rentuma on the far sideline. Got stuck a little bit in her feet, and it's taken away instead by Kendra Kane. Works it forward, looking for the potentially offside Belda. Ball played in centrally, and it's a little long for Lambert. Elms rushes out to claim. Megan on it, and she will spin this over with her arms to this near sideline for Avery. Her ball forward, blocked away, however, by Lambert. Comes as far as Studdert. Studdert dropping back now for Niedlinger. One touch forward through the legs of Bri Gonzalez, and it comes all the way up to Taylor Halstenson. Catania challenging on that. Ball bounces to the near sideline for Studdert. Her cross cleared away on one touch on the volley by Kelly Goodman. Settled at the middle of the midfield by Mara Alinas. Right sideline now, working down it is Kendra Kane. Trying to play in Belda, way too strong. It'll go out for a Viking goal kick, and we are into the final 2 minutes. Scoreboard clock has stopped. And we will guess just like you as to when we'll exactly be finished here. Elms preparing, however, to uncork a goal kick. DVC will be excited to get themselves into the locker room and be able to take advantage of this win, which right now, again, knocks down and Megan Elms' goal kick. Gonzalez well able to control that and play it forward now for Marissa Barros after a touch from Callaway. Played forward looking for the path of Ashley Scannell. Little strong. Knocked down by number 20, Frostick. Played forward for Picano. She tries to lay it into the right wing for Belda. Only Kappa roaming there, though. Megan forced to play it as the ball will not roll out. Daisy Lozano squares this now for Callie Goodman. A little pressure from Lambert, but Callie hoofs the ball towards the center circle. Headed forward by Frostick. Captain to captain. Bri Gonzalez commits a foul, however, on the 50-50 ball with Picano. And it is a opportunity here for Santa Rosa to bring a ball in. It looks to be Picano that will take it from about 5 yards in front of the center circle, lightly pushed toward the far sideline. A line of 5 Santa Rosa Bear Cubs lined up at the top of the 18, but Picano goes direct and is unable to get it on target. It will be a DVC goal kick. And that appears to be our halftime statistics in all likelihood, unless something happens in the next few seconds. 5-2 the shot count for Santa Rosa in front. 2 of those on goal for them, none of them yet for DVC. 3-2 on the fouls, 3-2 as well on the corners, both with Santa Rosa having one more. Ball settled here by Santa Rosa. Here's a shot coming from Studdert, takes a deflection off of Marissa Barros, and will go out for a corner kick, which they apparently will allow them to take. So, never mind, add one more shot to the total for Santa Rosa. One more corner kick now as well, and potentially a little more in a moment. Mr. Delgado motioning for the added time, perhaps a minute for the injury to Studdert. Halstenson to take this from the left side, near sideline. Lambert is in the 6-yard box right in front of Elms. Here come the runners on the far part of the box, falling in the direction of Studdert. Alinas tried to get up for it. It's going to fall as far as Cailin Belda. And with that, today's match official, Mr. Alex Delgado, will call an end to the first half. So a good defensive half for the Vikings, able to weather the storm from Santa Rosa. The wind certainly knocking down everything that they attempt to bring forward. We'll see if it aids the Vikings as much as it helped them, or excuse me, as much as it potentially hindered them just now. And so that will do it for half number 1, although apparently Mr. Delgado wants a word with Cailin Belda here in the time just after the half. But with that, we will go to the locker room, 15 minutes, and we'll be right back here for half number 2. Your halftime score, 0-0. And welcome back to the year 2020, our game sitting scoreless after the break, with DVC having weathered, if not a storm, then at least a battering from that strong wind for the first 45 minutes. For today's halftime, we're joined by right back Avery Van Horn, who's been patrolling the area right in front of you for the entire first half, and forward Hannah Harris, who's about to put the center of the Santa Rosa defense into the torture chamber in the second. Thanks for joining us today, ladies.
Hi, Joe.
Thanks for having us.
Wonderful to have you. Starting with these last 45 minutes, just what if anything do you two remember about this game?
Being nervous. We had known that this team was really doing well. They were probably one of the top JC schools for their soccer team. So that was probably the one thing going through my mind the most, was trying to stay focused, stay calm, and just like keep a level head.
Yeah, I agree. I think what I remember most about that day was just kind of like the fire that we all had in us. We wanted that game so bad. So, yeah, all of our preparation was coming down to this big game, and we were all just so pumped and ready to fight for it.
Now, Avery, this defense had become an increasingly tough unit. This game actually stands basically in the middle of a 553-minute streak that you all had where you didn't concede a goal from open play. How did that come along? What was your experience getting to grow and play with Callie and Dom and Daisy at the back?
I think just the 4 of us, we all took a lot of pride in kind of being that defensive line for the team. Through practice and through time on and off the field, I think we kind of bonded as a unit, and through, communication and awareness of each other, awareness of our line, and just like a mutual drive to be the backbone for the team, I think is kind of what carried us along.
And Hannah, what was your experience having to go against that unit every day in practice as a forward?
Wow. Well, it was a really huge developmental time, I think, for both offensive and defensive, but more so for defense. That's really where everybody was starting to blossom, really work well together, learn each other's strengths and their weaknesses. So this was really going to put everybody to the test. And defense really had a big thing coming for them. So that was, a lot for them to try to work together. They really ended up doing like such a great job. They helped us really carry that game. So it was really cool to see everybody start to really pick up on each other's cues and really like work well together on that back line.
Now, I mentioned in the opening of the game for this one that the neatest tactical change you all had up your sleeve was this ability to kind of swap Callie and Daisy and just on a dime go from speedy defense with a hold up forward to really physically imposing defense with an agent of chaos on the left wing. Daisy's going to be dribbling into our living room for most of the second half. Hannah, what was it like having a front row view of her play that season? I think if I remember correctly, you two played together either in high school or club before this?
Yeah. So that was the one thing I was going to say was, for me, that was such like an amazing time to not only have been able to watch Daisy grow from high school. We played on our, the only high school team I actually played on was my senior year in Concord. So that's where I met Daisy. You know, to see her develop and play together in college, it was just like a really nice feeling and a connection to have to be able to grow with somebody. So those balancing acts between Callie and Daisy, you know, you both had those players both had a lot of power, and then individually they also had, you know, their speed on their side, or they had that aggression on their side, and that determination and that hunger was the one common thing that they both shared. So, you know, they really collectively did what they needed to do whenever they were switching back and forth.
Yeah, no, I think she nailed it there.
Sorry to just not steal your thunder, Avery.
No, you nailed it.
Avery's always been our quiet, strong one anyhow, so it works out just fine.
The silent killer. No, she was just what she needed to be at every given moment.
One of the great things about having you back right now is to get a chance to catch up. What has life held for each of you in those 5 or 6 years since you've suited up for the green and white, and how are you staying sane right now with all that's going on in the world? Let's start with Avery for this one.
Yeah, so after DVC, I went on and I studied agriculture and animal science at Chico State. I played a little soccer on like a fun co-ed team, but my main focus was just school and work. I was working at In-N-Out through college. Yeah. So I did that, and I loved my time there. And then after graduating, I got a job at an animal hospital as a veterinary assistant in Los Gatos. And I did that for about a year, and I absolutely loved that. But then I was given a really great opportunity working in animal physiology for a small biotech company called Antibody Solutions here in Santa Clara. So I took that, and I've been with them for about 2 years now. It was kind of a jump into the unknown for me. You know, I studied agriculture, and, you know, I was working in an animal health setting, but it's been really cool kind of learning this new biotech industry and working a little in human medicine. And with everything going on, you know, I've had my hand in some COVID-19 research, which is pretty cool. I think down the line, I might gravitate back towards, you know, the agriculture and animal health side of things. But yeah, for now, I'm happy and I'm doing well.
That's super cool, Abe. I didn't even know that you were doing all that.
Yeah.
I missed In-N-Out, but that's really cool. So let's see. I actually stayed around for a couple more months after finishing at DVC, just so I could save up a little bit of money. I ended up moving out here to Sacramento. I got a really good job opportunity working in property management, and I've been doing that for about 3 years now. It was just like a really good opportunity for me to work for a company that had a lot of growth potential. So I've been bouncing around back and forth. My home base here is in Sacramento, but they have me floating to different properties. It's just kind of like working with apartment complexes, helping develop like their leasing and their marketing strategies. So I kind of help wherever they need to, working for like their corporate. I have a home as they call it in Natomas, which is pretty close to my house that I just purchased last year. So I'm pretty stationary out here. I'm considering like my options as far as going into like doing fashion and doing marketing and merchandising. So kind of finishing up some like CC classes here locally so I can maybe potentially go into FITM in San Francisco.
Oh, Ooh.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm currently at. Haven't really lost my mind too much over COVID-19. I have my best friend living with me, and so we've, kind of helped balance out that lonely factor. We always have somebody to hang out with or cook dinner. I'm a cat mom, so I have my little kitty here. And then, my parents, they actually moved out of Concord, and they live a little bit closer to me out here. So I'm a little bit more accessible to seeing my family than I was when they lived about an hour away. So.
Back when I did the sophomore interviews, I always asked this question toward the end. Basically, what do you think you will most remember 5 years from now about your time playing at DVC? And who do you think you would miss playing with the most? You don't have to answer the second one. I made people cry with that second one. But the first part, for sure, it's not a hypothetical anymore. What is the first thing that comes to each of your minds when you hear the word Vikings?
Ooh. Vikings on 3. That's a big one. But I'd say, man, as much as I bumped heads with Coach, I miss her like crazy. I think I had a lot of growing to do, just emotionally and mature wise while I was on that team. But I look back now, and every conversation that I hold with new people in my life, the first thing I'm probably thinking of is just how much I grew because of DVC soccer. It really helped me open my eyes. I compared to kind of where I was then and where I am now, and it really helped me kind of grow up a little bit and be surrounded by a lot of women who were very driven and had a lot of goals and were very ambitious and just super kind. I'm just super influenced by the women that I met because of DVC soccer. I still keep up with a little bit of people. Oh my cat. A little bit of she came underneath me. I keep up with some people, so it's really nice to be able to have people to check in with who kind of hey, get on your stuff, remind me, because I needed that then and I still need that now. It's a bad habit of mine. I just kind of get a little comfortable sometimes, but I appreciate the relationships that I developed through soccer at DVC.
Yeah, I agree with everything she said. We were a little family, and I think the moments that kind of stick out to me are, just, the van rides together and lining up for the national anthem together and encouraging each other through coaches' conditioning drills and, morning weights and, just all the emotion we felt together as a team, whether it was the struggles and the frustration or the celebrating, all of those moments kind of together as, a team and a family are what I think back to, when I hear Vikings.
Well, and I've been taking this opportunity to tell each of the players, because, if I thought to invite you for this, it's because you made an impression on me, and there's something that sticks out when I think about you. And I've been telling everybody what the first thing that pops into my head is. And for Hannah, you mentioned the van rides. Those van rides with you operating the DJ the DJ booth from behind me. I remember just having a great time with you and Isela on a few of those. And of course, the thing we're going to see in about 25 minutes, very high up the list of things I remember about having you on that club. And we'll have you back to break that down when it happens on the video.
Got it.
And for Avery, I always think back to just the welcome that I had with that team from you and Callie and Megan Elms in particular. And you mentioned the anthem, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't say this to Elms when I had her. I remember her conducting the cymbal crashes on the anthem. That was always a scream. But I always remember the way that felt, because I never expected to get that when I started broadcasting, and it was so cool. Just such a neat relationship that I've carried through my time at DVC.
The older sisters of the group. It was like the mother hens and the little chickens.
Yeah.
They were the ones to put us in line and put us in check. Whenever we were too loud, too crazy, the music was not right, or we needed to focus, those were the first ones to do it. And it was nice to have that dynamic. We needed
those days.
Well, the other thing I remember is I think by virtue of you and your mom being my first two loyal listeners, I got very protective of you during games, I noticed. And I remember the PK, I think, that you gave up at ARC, and I was like, oh, that's really soft. And I'm sitting there, like, having to restrain myself in the broadcast from going like, oh, my Avery would never. And that it was the strangest thing. But then, of course, I had to edit to find your highlights for the highlight video at the end of the season. And in looking at those, I was like, oh, yeah, my Avery would. My Avery did a lot. Oh, my goodness. So.
Yeah. You wouldn't think it, but I had it.
Yep, quiet but strong, as we said. What did you say, Hannah? Silent killer?
Silent killer. You just cannot underestimate her at all. At all.
Well, before we call it a day here, are there any last shout-outs you'd like to get either to teammates or coaches or anybody else from your time at DVC?
Hi, Coach!
Yes, Coach.
Thank you
Coach,
so much.
yeah, Coach, I will have one thing about Coach. I sat down in a one-on-one academic meeting with her, and I was just going to do a 2-year trade program, and Coach encouraged me to go to the 4-year college and get that experience, and I'm so glad she did. So I just want to thank her for encouraging me there and on the field as a player, and just every other coach and trainer and all of my teammates and you, Joe. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Coach, I know you're listening to this. I just want to say sorry that I didn't listen to you a lot beforehand. And thank you so much for pushing me, because you are actually probably the one voice in my head that I think of when I'm like, okay, like, what do I do next? What's my next step in life? Like, when I feel like I need to be a little bit hard on myself, it's more so just like a pressure and a push to think outside the box, to get outside my comfort zone. And I think of Coach every single time. I'm just like, no, like, I feel like Coach would be so let down if I didn't do this, or if I didn't, be a little bit more critical thinking. And so I thank her, and I thank you, Coach, for being that voice, because that's probably going to stick with me for the rest of my life. It used to be something that I know we butt heads on, but I appreciate it now. And I'm going to live with it, and I'm going to keep with it, and I'm going to run with it.
Well, I'm sure she'll be watching, and us educators are keenly aware that sometimes it's a couple years before those things start to land, but any chance we get to help somebody grow, that's what we're all here for. Well, thank you two, for joining us today and taking the time. It was really great to see you. We're headed back out into the elements for our second 45 minutes, the wind both literally and metaphorically at the backs of the green and white, as we start the second half on Vikings Soccer Rewind. A potential advantage over Santa Rosa. Taking a look at the folks out on the field at the moment, it appears to be mostly the same characters we saw during the first half, although it does look as though Cristina Diaz-Torres, as we are back underway, is playing in the defense right from the start. Oh, Julia Lambert also up there pairing with Darcy Forsyth. So a couple of of the first half subs in right from the beginning for Santa Rosa. As for DVC, Curran and Harris are pairing up top, Lozano and Barros on the wings of the midfield, Mazleski and Gonzalez in the middle of the midfield, and it's Megan Capa taking the throw-in earned by DVC here at the near sideline, and working it forward now. Lozano with a little bit of pressure coming from behind her, drops it back for Mazleski, play down the left wing beautifully for Lozano. She's trying to work on Kendra Kane. Lozano near the byline, comes to a stop, puts it on her right, drops it back for Hannah. Hannah trying to cross with the arrival from behind of Cailin Belda. And the ball's going to be cleared by Santa Rosa. Headed forward into the middle for Hannah Mazleski by Megan Capa. Drop back for Bree. Bree trying to put it back out to the flank for Megan. Took a touch from Julia Lambert, but Capa ends up back on it. Her ball forward, blocked by Belda. Now up ahead for Curran, and she touches it neatly around a defender for Lozano. Here's Daisy, crossed into the 18, looking for Hannah! Her header just off target, a little bit too high. But a real opportunity in minute number 1. The Vikings' first real danger of the match. They had 2 shots, neither of which were on frame in the first. They still haven't quite put one on goal, but that one a heck of a lot more dangerous, and a gorgeous left-footed cross from Daisy Lozano. Jernigan will hoof this one deep, and the wind has returned, and it knocks this down. Marissa Barros onto it, knocked to ground. It appears to have been all ball. Now Gonzalez knocked to ground, also apparently all ball from Studdert and Diaz-Torres. Blocked away for a moment here by Hannah Mazleski, but controlled again in the middle by Forsyth. Not handled, though, by Halstenson, and it's recovered now by Daisy Lozano. Played forward looking for the run of JC. That's going to run a little long. The wind maybe aiding it just a touch, and Jernigan is out to claim it. But DVC with an immediate response to some of the issues they've been having, and it looks like Cristina Diaz-Torres is going to have to leave the match for a moment, perhaps bleeding. And so might have busted a lip there as she was colliding in the middle with Brie Gonzalez and Marissa Barros. Bit of a tangle of bodies there for a moment. So the substitution brought in. Alyssa Hickling will be back into the game for Diaz-Torres, and that almost puts Santa Rosa back to the starting lineup. For DVC, the defense at the moment, by the way, Callaway and Goodman in the middle, Kappa on the left back position, Van Horn on the right. And here is the goal kick falling towards the center circle from Morgan Jernigan. Knocked down, almost handled by Hickling. Played out wide to the right side by Van Horn. Marissa Barros onto it. She's trying to accelerate. Showed a little bit too much of it to Halstenson. She steps up, claims, and immediately hoofs it forward looking for the run of Lambert. That's knocked down by Callaway. Played out to the wing. Barros centers now for Brie Gonzalez. She's got Mazleski nearby. Lozano waving, looking to get fed. Ball played into the center for Callie Goodman. Out left for Kappa. Forward for Curran. Tries to play it ahead for Lozano. Wrong-footed her for a moment. Lozano tries to touch the ball forward. Can Curran get there before it's over the end line? Not quite. Out for a goal kick. Daisy reached out at that ball, screwed a little oddly towards the near sideline. Nearly poked it and had it wait over there on the end line for JC. Just a little heavy. Jernigan's goal kick falling near the three-quarter zone. Touched ahead by Halstenson. Controlled by Gonzalez, and now Marissa Barros. Tried to play it through Studdert. Falls right back to Barros, though. Has Lozano showing on the left. Here's the ball for Mazleski. Lozano holding her run nicely. Mazleski accelerating now into the attack. Plays it out wide to the left. She's onside. Here's a chance for the cross from the 18. Lozano chested down by Hannah Harris, still there! And unfortunately, they've eventually decided that Hannah Harris handled that in the process. It was stuck between her and two defenders, I believe Needlinger and maybe Halstenson or Frostick there in the middle, right at the top of the 6. Dangerous cross. Goal kick is going to be handled by Lozano. Daisy pops this one up towards JC. A header to put it back into the path of Lozano. Able to body off the arrival of a defender. Here's Hannah Harris held. Penalty kick, penalty kick, penalty kick, penalty kick. No, free kick. They've said the contact started outside the box. They've given a free kick. They've given a free kick a foot outside the 18-yard box. So we can hear the coach saying, have some courage there. Not agreeing with that at all. Callie Goodman appears ready to step up. It is at the left side of the half moon. We are in minute number 50. A chance here for Goodman. The wall being placed behind the penalty spot. It's got some holes in it at the moment. Now they're putting it into place there. There's 4 in the wall and another one there. There's a little bit of a window for Jernigan to see through. Now they try to close that. Goodman into the wall. Ball still alive there. Goodman trying to get back onto it. It's cleared, but only as far as Daisy Lozano here at the near sideline, about 25 yards from goal. Laid back for Kappa. Slipped for a moment, able to regain her balance and recover the ball. Shoved as she tries to resettle it by the number 8, Kendra Kane, and it will be a throw-in for the Vikings from this near sideline. So we will go ahead and call that shot number 1 on goal because that ball was headed on frame if it hadn't been stopped. Free kick to be taken from just inside the near sideline, about 15 yards ahead of the center stripe. Goodman to take it. A line of Vikings at the top of the 18. Here's the ball floating towards that top of the 18. Headed laterally by Maralinas. And it'll be Barros looking to try to catch that before the arrival of Forsyth. She got one touch to it. Forsyth pokes it away. Gonzalez back onto it in front of Studdert. Running circle. She's now beaten Studdert. Plays it down the right wing, but Barros wasn't quite ready for it. Alinas will be able to get onto it. But closed down by Barros and Harris. The ball out off of Marissa, and it'll be a throw-in the defensive third for Santa Rosa. So your halftime stats were Santa Rosa up 6-2 on shots. That's now 6-4. They were up 2-0 on shots on goal. It's now 2-1. And they've now committed another foul to make it 4-2, as it also is on the count on corner kicks. Over the top, Avery Van Horn whistled for a foul as she tried to get through, over and through, the person challenging for that header off the original throw. So it's the second straight game that a penalty kick decision has gone against the Vikings. The very light, soft penalty given against Avery Van Horn that condemned the green and white to a 1-0 defeat last week. And now this one from just outside the box very evidently seemed to be a penalty given for a hold on Hannah Harris. But they give it just outside the 18-yard box. Dom Calloway crashing in and managing to beat the Santa Rosa players to that ball. Bree Gonzalez works it forward to Marissa Barros, now to the right wing for Hannah Harris, working against Needlinger. Needlinger wins that battle. Ball brought forward, and Santa Rosa try to counterattack. Controlled by Van Horn. Drop back for Calloway. Under a little bit of pressure, she works the ball into the center. Alinas getting to it. She beats Hannah Harris there, but her touch will carry it all the way out to the far sideline for a Viking throw. Ball out at the far sideline where we've had a few more fans arrive. It's a couple dozen. The ball is hucked down the right wing by Avery Van Horn, looking for the run of Hannah Harris. Controlled there by Needlinger. She gets a touch to it. Last touch judged to have been from Harris. So a goal kick to come and a substitution on the way. Natalia Picano, one of the few starters from the first half who was not in to begin the second, will be returning to the pitch now. She was getting checked out on the training table during that halftime interval. So she enters the match. That looks like it's going to push Darcy Forsyth wide to the right and put Maralinas off the field for now. Oh, maybe not. Nope, Maralinas stays on, and it's actually Forsyth coming off. So Maralinas remains in the game here, and Jernigan prepares the goal kick. Jernigan, I don't know if I mentioned, in white shorts, navy blue socks, and a bright purple goalkeeper shirt with electric blue undersleeves. Her goal kick is controlled by DVC. Van Horn finds Mazleski, drop back now to Calloway, and she's going to try to go down the right wing now, looking for Hannah Harris. Controlled in front of Hannah by the number 17, Needlinger, and she fouls her, so that'll be foul number 4 against the Vikings. And a free kick for the Bear Cubs. So they're in the defensive third, all the way over at the far sideline, preparing to take this one. A lot more returning players on this club than I'm accustomed to seeing on a lot of these squads. We've seen a lot of teams with maybe 6 or 7 of them. The starting lineup features 5 right out of the gate, and they've got a few of the subs as well that are returning players. This one pops up a little loose. Daisy Lozano heads it beautifully forward into the center for JC. Drop back for Hannah. She ran by it for a moment. Back to JC. Now back again looking for Hannah. She blocks away the clearance. And now it's Natalia Picano who's got a head of steam. She's gotten by Bree Gonzalez. Looks like she almost lost the ball though behind her, and she's forced to retrieve it. Plays it to Callie Goodman. And Cailin Belda has fouled Callie. Trying to get to that. She slid in and kept trying to kick at it. And Goodman has gone right down direct on the left side for Daisy Lozano. Daisy with a chance here to put a cross in. She's beaten Kane to the byline. Plays it off. Kane, but Kane is going to be able to keep the ball in play, and nothing given for the shoulder-on-shoulder challenge, at least according to the referee. Up comes Kappa, plays the ball off Belda. Recovered by Mazleski. Tried to throw it into the middle for Harris. Ticked away. Here's the ball back up into the 18-yard box. Hits Harris in the back, does the header. Laid back for Bree, who tries to shoot it on the volley and unfortunately cannot get over it. Ball pops up and is claimed by Morgan Jernigan. I believe it did go over the byline for a goal kick here. Yeah, she puts it in place. So register a 5th shot for DVC. They've almost now equaled Santa Rosa. It's evident that it's a lot easier to attack down this side. The field slopes ever so slightly downward towards this goal to my left. And it also, of course, they've got the benefit of the wind. And here's DVC looking to do it again. Down the right wing for Barros, but not quite on point. It's sliced out for a throw-in on the far sideline. Warm-ups beginning behind me, and quite a number of players getting themselves potentially ready. Lizzie Chavez, we see. Perhaps also Catherine Hafner, Kelsey Catania, and Yasmin Jaime. For the time being, we work with who we have on the field. Minute number 66 here. And the throw-in coming to Natalia Picano. Drop back, and in space there for Hannah Harris to run onto it. She touches it around one defender, leaves it a little too long, and Frostic arrives. A touch from Avery Van Horn as it fell over near the sideline. Is able to settle the ball in the middle. Ball forward by Bree Gonzalez after she ran onto it is touched forward for Cailin Belda. She got around one defender, the sliding Daisy Lozano, but the Vikings able to work their way back onto it. Gonzalez in the middle, not a lot of time. One nice deft touch puts it into the path of Hannah Masleski. And she's going down that right flank again for Barros. Is it going to stay out there nicely for her? Now Stuttert's able to get to it first, but she's forced to play it out for another DVC throw-in on the far sideline. And at substitution time, Lizzie Chavez will enter. Signal given by the near sideline assistant referee, Mr. Padilla. So here is the substitution. Lizzie Chavez in, and taking the long walk around will be Marissa Barros, a like-for-like swap on the right midfield position. Here's the throw into the 18-yard box for Curran. She knocks it down for Hannah. Hannah trying to cross, and it's going to go out behind the goal for a goal kick. Couldn't get quite enough swerve onto that or play it off of a defender, so Jernigan will have a chance for the goal kick here to give Santa Rosa an opportunity, but we've been playing most of this game down at this end. In the first half, of course, that was a bit of suffering. In this half, it's pretty nice. Jernigan's goal kick again knocked down by the wind. It's going to carry almost out for a throw. Does get one touch from Kendra Kane before heading out. She at least earned Santa Rosa a few yards as it was set to go out, and Megan Coppa will throw it in from near the midfield stripe. That will be met by the head of Kane. Headed again by Gonzalez, knocked down for a moment by Curran and Lozano. Comes free to Lozano despite the reach of Belda. Here is Daisy Lozano working on Frostick. Lozano to the byline, plays it on the ground and can't get her foot around it. It's going to go out the back for another goal kick. So Jernigan will uncork this in a moment. As we mentioned elsewhere in the Big Eight, we've got a couple of games to check in on after this one's over. Modesto and San Joaquin Delta probably nearing its conclusion right about now. Cosumnes River and Sierra right in time with us, having kicked off at 3:30. Depending on when we record the post-game show, we'll see. We might actually have that final result between American River and Sac City by then. The ball ping-ponging around in the midfield, controlled by Belda. Worked forward now for the arrival of Halstonson. She tries to go route one, looking for the run of the number 18, that is Alyssa Hickling. But it's claimed by Megan Elms before she can get there. Elms with her hands out to Avery Van Horn on the right. She tries to hoof it forward for the run of Lizzie Chavez. It stays in play, but it's too long for Lizzie. Knocked down by Natalia Picano, and let's see, looks like a foul given against Santa Rosa. We'll take it. As Brie Gonzalez was trying to get to that ball, and she was shoved off of it by Natalia Picano. So it'll be a free... Oh, no, never mind. No, it's a throw-in. Okay. Much confusion. Annie Stuttert managing the throw-in just behind Lizzie Chavez. The ball cleared away. It'll go out for another throw, and Avery Van Horn will re-rack that from right where she was located. Here comes Avery. Forward for Hannah Harris. She tries to head the ball back to the center, but didn't quite get around it. Coach Mullins indicating that she'd prefer to have that one run down the line and give the speedy number 3 a chance to run onto it. At any rate, the ball played forward for Santa Rosa, skips by Megan Coppa. She's got to get onto that in front of Cailin Belda. Belda reached to it. Coppa hit the deck, but it looks like Belda got ball. Played it off of Coppa, and it's a throw-in. Immediately taken by Kane down the right sideline for Cailin Belda. And she has managed to dribble through Coppa. She's going to put a cross on the ground toward the 6, but Megan Elms is up to scoop it up. And that is immediately fed out wide to the right side for Lizzie Chavez. Chavez near the far sideline, works it forward, trying to get it to JC. Up steps Frostick, and she clears it away. And turning quickly on that is Alyssa, no, excuse me, it's the number 16. I can't tell who that was from out here. At any rate, the ball was put in for Hickling and cleared immediately by DVC. We're back in the center circle right now. Maralinas trying to bring the ball forward. Deflected by Kelly Goodman. Up comes Coppa, plays it away from Halstonson. Takes it almost away from Picano, but Picano is able to get by the slide of Brie Gonzalez. She now tries to float it down the left wing, and she's got a runner over there. It's Julia Lambert, who's offside. So here in minute 61, I believe that's the first offside call. That'll be another free kick for DVC. Callie Goodman to take that from the defensive third. This ball slicing towards the sideline. It's going to end up out too soon for anybody to get onto it. The wind actually as much as it has been going from right to left, is also pushing just a little bit from near sideline to far sideline. So it does make those balls floated out to the right a little more likely to go out. Albert Eng motions the position for Needlinger to bring in this throw. Knocked down by Lizzie Chavez, played forward now for Hannah Harris, who's working her run toward the center. She's beaten a couple of defenders. Can she get to her knock-on before Frostick? No, but Frostick's forced to play it out for a throw. DVC continuing to attack. Had a very dominant start to this second half. They've been playing the game almost entirely in this end. Of course, we do know that in earlier games, frustration has crept in if moments of dominance and opportunities go wanting. So it would certainly serve their psyche to get one quick here. The retread on the substitution comes in the center of the midfield. Mazleski and Gonzalez out, Jaime and Catania in. Throw in coming to JC, who trips over the ball at the top right corner of the box. Maralinas brings the ball forward. It scoots by Callaway and Lambert. Luckily, Callie Goodman there to take it, but she has it taken away by Lambert. Worked into the center now for Hickling. Trying to turn and refeed Lambert down the left wing. She's going to be able to do so, except that Goodman gets there just a moment before and plays it out for a throw. That will be coming again from the far sideline, about halfway between the midfield stripe and the end line. We remain on 0-0 in the 63rd minute. So otherwise, just as we started the second half, but now Jaime and Catania in the middle of the defense, flanked by Curran and Curran and Chavez. That was the other change. Defense is the same, as is the attack. Here's the ball popping about in the 18-yard box after the throw, finally decisively cleared by Kelsey Catania. Ball runs away from Kendra Kane for a moment. Looked like JC might have a chance to get onto it. Kane able to get around JC, though, now in possession. Put into the center circle for Alinas. Alinas working centrally now for Picano, cleared away by Callie Goodman, and this ball might fall kindly here for Hannah Harris, who's trying to get her way by. Frostick just does put her foot in front of Hannah and put the ball out here on the near sideline for a throw-in. It'll be Megan Coppa to put this one in here as we are approaching the halfway point of half number 2. All right, here comes the throw from Coppa. This is a looping one looking for Catania, knocks it on with the head. Unfortunately splits Lozano and Harris. Served back into the center and now cleared by Santa Rosa. A spinning ball headed by Dom Callaway. We'll see who gets to it first. Looks to be Lambert. Knocks it back for Needlinger, who's now trying an overlap on the left side. Chavez tracking back with her, gets a touch to it, and works it into space for Avery Van Horn. Clearance finally comes from Chavez. Handled for a moment by Picano, but taken away by Jaime. Yazzie knocks this back for Avery, looking for an outlet. Central for Curran, knocks it down for Lizzie rather. Worked forward for Hannah Harris. Her knockdown is not able to settle the ball quite well enough, and Santa Rosa get back onto it and drop it back for their purple-clad keeper. Long ball from the keeper, takes a bounce rather, in front of Picano. Avery Van Horn able to step up to it and works it off of the defender. Lizzie Chavez, nice little cut to leave two defenders for dead. Drops back for Van Horn, who brings it forward. Couple of touches from the Santa Rosa defense, but it's back in possession of JC in the center circle. Little fake to try to get around one defender. Unfortunately, the next touch takes it too long, and it's claimed again by Halstinson. Drop back for Picano. Work centrally now for Hickling. Having to take about 2 or 3 touches to control it, Kelsey Catania ends up with some time to pressure. She does finally drop it back for Maralinas. Alinas has a little bit of space. She's going to try a little bit of a hooked ball into the middle. Tried to get under that and lob it for the run of Lambert, perhaps, or Hickling, but carries right to Elms. Megan launches this one deep. Over the top of the first arriver, Halstinson. Knocked down now, however, by Harris, and she's trying to work her way around Needlinger to the sideline. Needlinger able to cut her path off. Drops it into space for Frostick, but her clearance is going to slice out for a DVC throw on the far sideline. Substitution coming, Taylor Rentuma entering the match. She will come in place of Julia Curran, it appears. And so it would appear we will have Curran and Harris pairing up top. Again, recapping your midfield, it's Lozano here on this near sideline on the left, Chavez on the right, Jaime and Catania available in the middle. Here's the throw in, looking for Harris down the right sideline, tried to head the ball forward. So the flick carries straight over for a Santa Rosa goal kick as we are just about at that halfway point, minute number 67. Jernigan getting ready to unload another goal kick. This one cutting through a little bit less wind this time. Is going to fall on one hop to Yasmin Jaime. She tried to play it forward for Lozano, didn't quite get enough of it. Santa Rosa, though, unable to make any further headway as Kappa cuts off the path first of Lambert and then of the number 4 Belda. Clearance, though, is going to come centrally here for Santa Rosa, and it's in possession of Manalinas. Forward for Halstenson. Work to the center of the pitch for Picano. Up comes Catania, but she overruns it. Picano looks like she's trying for the far post. Oof! From about 35 yards, that ball was drifting and dipping and nearly found its way into the left corner upper 90. Bit of a scary moment there. Register the first shot of half number 2 for Santa Rosa. They currently lead on shots 7-5 and on shots on goal 2-1, but the Vikings still level on the only statistic that matters, and that is goals. 0-0 the scoreline here as we are halfway through the second. Controlled by Lizzie Chavez at the far sideline. She tries to work forward for Harris, intercepted by a Santa Rosa player. Stutter working it now into the center for Picano. She lets it run and is able to run back onto it. Now puts it into the center of the three-quarter zone for Belda. She can't settle. Up comes Kappa and manages to take it away. Controlled, however, on the near sideline by Kane. Belda trying to work her way around Kappa. She has. Up steps Callie Goodman, and she's going to control it at the center of the box. Here comes a cross in the middle. Look out! Knocked down nicely. It's going to carry her out to the right side. Does it for Hickling. Hickling trying to work it back for a teammate. Played towards the far post and on top of the goal. Goal kick. Scary moments, though. Not entirely sure whether that was intended as a cross or as a shot, but either way, a moment of utter terror as Julia Lambert got under that and played it for the left corner again. Here comes the goal kick, flicked forward by Hannah Harris. Taylor Rentuma will try to run onto it, but they do have coverage back here at Santa Rosa. Rentuma able to touch it away, however, from Kane. And she's got some runners now. Finds Lizzie Chavez with acres of space on the right side. Chavez takes a touch. Edge of the 18, Lizzie! Calls a big save out of Jernigan and earns a corner kick. Going for the near post. Jernigan dives and puts out DVC's best chance of the day. Second shot on goal. And the third corner to come. It'll be from the far sideline, right side, as the DVC attack sees it. Catania lurking. Goodman, Lozano, Jaime, Rentuma, and Harris in the box. The last three all in the 18 or in the 6. Unfortunately, the cross from Chavez is a little bit soft and is not going to get anywhere. Cleared away by the defense. Taking one big hop, though, does a odd clearance in front of Lozano. She tries to play the ball forward. Kane able to knock it down with her chest. Kappa gets in her way. Lozano plays it back down the flank, and Rentuma might have a chance to run onto this. Alinas, however, is coming back here, as does Frostick. Frostick's last touch might carry it out. Nope. She manages to center it back again for the defense. And Kane drops it back for Alinas with more space. Launched forward, headed by Lambert into the path of Alyssa Hickling, who's trying to get by Dom Calloway. Dom covers well, though. Drops it back for Megan Elms. Her clearance bounces off of Hickling. Controlled at the far sideline, or near sideline rather, for a moment by Belda. Lozano able to take it away. Here's the ball forward looking for Rentuma. Does well to body up Kane and looks for a runner. Tries to play it centrally for the run of Hannah Harris. Didn't get enough on it. Kane hoofing the ball forward. A little bit awkwardly handled for a moment by Lambert. Callie Goodman able to claim. Center circle for Yaz Jaime. She's going to work it out to the left here for Daisy. Lets it run for a moment. Daisy able to dribble it through Kendra Kane. Here comes Daisy. Daisy down the left wing, looking for somebody to hit. Puts it into Hannah at the top of the 6. Hannah! Goal! Goal, 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 goal! Hannah! Harris! DVC into the lead with 20 minutes to go.
I think as a forward, you really do have to be on your toes at all times. Anything can happen at any moment. For Daisy to really be in that position, I was like, okay, I kind of know how this girl works. I know how she operates. I'm going to guess at where this is going to land, and I just need to land there. I need to be there and receive this. So I kind of distinctively just remember connecting with my teammate, just kind of like reading her cues, kind of knowing like how she weights the ball when she's about to cross it. So I just really wanted to be in the right position. But the celebration was the best. You know, that's an incredible feeling, really, just like doing something for your team, and then your team's right there to back you up right after, to be like giving you that reassurance, like, yeah, you did that, like okay, like let's get it together and let's do it again. So.
To reconstruct that, Lozano able to dribble through Kendra Kane on the left. She put the ball into the center. Hannah able to knock it down with a chest. It looked for a moment like it might have carried too far, but right at the edge of the 6, just before the arrival of Jernigan, she got a toe to it, poked it through, and gave DVC a 1-0 lead here in minute number 71. Lizzie Chavez onto the ball now, and DVC looking for a little more. They've been very, very bright in this second half. Tries to play it down the right wing. Unfortunately, nobody there. Claimed by Chelsea Frostick, the captain for this Bear Cub team. Hannah Harris putting the pressure on. Frostick bringing it forward. Avery Van Horn a little out of position, a little far forward. Knocked it down for a moment. Dom has to cover. Plays it down the right flank. It'll go out over there for a Santa Rosa throw. So we'll try to get our wits about us here. Vikings up 1-0. Boy, I hope the recorder is running. Natalia Picano trying to settle the throw in here. Manages to get it through the legs of Hannah Harris, but it comes to Taylor Rentuma. One nice touch to get it to Lizzie Chavez. She had to reach a little far, though, to try to play that ball, and so her ball into the center is easily claimed by Santa Rosa. They're unable to clear it effectively. It's out the left sideline again for a DVC throw. It'll be Van Horn from about the midfield stripe on the far sideline. Here comes that throw. Bypasses Harris, had Chavez streaking down the right. Ball headed away, however, by, I think that's Studdert over there on the left side. Here's another throw. Gets Studdert again, but her header is going to carry right to Kelsey Catania, a little closer to center. Kelsey, unsure exactly who to go to. Drops it back for Callaway, who has to let that run as Lambert was pressuring her. Knocked back now for Megan Elms. She'll put this over to the left side for Kappa. Has a little bit of room and time. Plays it for JC, though, and loses a lot of that time as Kane steps up. And now here's the ball on the foot of Julia Lambert, playing centrally, trying to find Hickling. She turns, feeds it to the left, looking for Studdard, who is going to hit it on the volley and pop this ball way up and over Megan Elms' goal. And we will take that all day. That is the 9th shot thus far for Santa Rosa to 7 for DVC. DVC, though, now with the advantage on shots on goal, 3-2. And, of course, most importantly, the advantage on shots in goal at 1-0. You can hear the coaches encouraging the midfielders here to win this ball coming forward from Elms. Yaz gets a touch to it, now collides with Belda for a moment, but Belda does manage to settle. Tries to play it out to the wing, Megan Kappa there to block it. Belda throws her body into Kappa and manages to get that ball back. That is a bruiser there. Played to the right wing for Julia Lambert. She's trying to bring it across. It's going to fall for a moment here for Taylor Halstenson. Takes it on the half volley, but Megan Elms, no problems with that. And so Elms will uncork this drop kick. It takes one big hop over here by Needlinger and Harris. Harris gets the header to it, and she's got the speed to get back onto this. She's crossing into the middle looking for Rentuma, and it's a reach from the number 20 Frostick, just barely able to keep that from finding Taylor there in the center. Ball brought in towards the center of the pitch. Goodman bodying up Lambert. The ball popping around. Kelsey Catania is going to get onto it on the second bite, just in front of the center circle. Trying to feed someone down the right wing. It's deflected by Needlinger. Looked for a moment like DVC was going to get it, but Studdert lays it back for Lambert. Ball forward for Hickling, knocked down by the DVC defense. Cleared. Popped up in the air by Kane. Here's the ball over the left looking for the speed of JC. Can't quite beat Maralinas there, but her clearance is going to take it out for a DVC throw at the near sideline in the attacking third. So we'll take it over here at the near sideline. Megan Kappa on the ball. Up in the vicinity is Belda. The throw-in looking for Rentuma. Headed out by Maralinas. Another throw-in for DVC. A few yards further forward. She's going to try to go down the sideline this time for Curran. Knocked down by Kane, and that'll be another throw-in. Another few yards further forward. We're only about 10 from the byline now. Here's a throw. Knocked down by Rentuma. She plays it back for Megan. Tries the first-time cross, working its way towards the 6-yard box, but no runners able to get onto that. Jernigan able to launch this one forward with the arms in the air to Annie Studdert. And we're already at midfield. She whips the ball forward looking for Julia Lambert. Cleared away by Kelly Goodman. Knocked down at midfield by Maralinas for a moment. One touch from Jaime, but Alinas gets back onto it. She's trying to touch through a few more defenders. Catania, Cailin, and finally Avery on that ball. Van Horn clears, but to no one in particular. Picano able to knock that ball down. She tries to get it on her left. Shoots from there. And it's very, very slow and very easily handled by Elms. And there's no pressure coming, so Elms will just sit there and wait and let time tick off here in minute number 76. Here comes Hickling to finally pressure Elms, and she will now pick this ball up. Good work by Elms, good awareness there to let a little time run off of this here. We are 14 minutes away from what might be a big victory for these DVC Vikings. And the goal kick carries all the way to Lizzie Chavez going down the right side. My goodness, Lizzie all the way over there, working against Needlinger. Tries to bring the ball in centrally for Harris. Harris tries to refeed Lizzie. Took a touch from Studdert, but they're back onto it now. Hannah crossing towards the far post looking for Julia. Can't quite get around the body of Maralinas. And Jernigan claims. Here's the long ball forward. Kappa gets a touch to it. It's going to carry out right in front of me here on the sideline, though. And we've got substitutions coming. 3 for DVC, 1 for Santa Rosa. And so here comes the one for Santa Rosa. That is the number 21, Darcy Forsyth. Entering it would appear for Hickling. As for DVC, Rentuma, Harris, and Catania out. Gonzalez, Barros, and Mazleski in a complete midfield retread. Back to the original starters from half number 2. And JC trying to get onto the ball here, and now it's Bree beating Natalia Picano to it. Still a lot of pressure coming from the number 25 in white. Drop back for Cailin. Under a little pressure from Lambert, she goes back to Megan Kappa. Ball work forward, headed by Marissa Barros, and it's going to settle neatly at her feet. Here comes Marissa. Play forward, looking for Julia. She can't quite settle it. It's going to carry towards the end line. But she's putting enough pressure on Kane that Kane is forced to put it out for a throw. This will be coming from about 5 yards away from the end line. We continue to check the clock every now and again. 12 and a half minutes to go. Kappa, bit of a run-up. Longer throw, settled by Yaz Jaime. Jaime looking for room for a cross, but Maralinas and Kendra Kane able to get back on the ball. Here comes the pressure of JC. Almost took it away. Worked forward and now finally punched towards the center circle by Cailin Belda. The return header there by Callie Goodman carried all the way towards the 18-yard box, and under pressure from Curran, Kane gives it right back to Yaz Jaime. Works centrally now for Barros. Quickly again now for Curran. Curran's got a chance maybe to shoot, but Frosted gets there just ahead of the arrival of Curran at the top left corner of the box. DVC back in control, though, after the clearance. Mazleski on the right, working it towards Lizzie Chavez, who tried to let it run, but it had too much on it for the dummy to quite work. So it's going to go out on the far sideline. Throw in coming for Santa Rosa. And it'll be Needlinger to take this. Current setup right now, Needlinger, it appears that Needlinger, Frostic, Alinas, and Kane are the defense. Alinas started in the center of the midfield, but they've used particularly just her size over here to body off players. Santa Rosa, meanwhile, earn another throw in. They try to get the ball forward for the attacking pair of Lambert and Belda. As we mentioned earlier, Lambert with 1 goal this season, Belda with 5. Certainly a potential target. Hannah Harris now with 3 on the season, and Lozano with her 2nd assist. Ball controlled by Santa Rosa for a moment, but reaching out is Hannah Mazleski to take it away for a moment from Darcy Forsyth. Ball's loose in the middle. Yaz Jaime trying to get onto it. Alinas, however, able to control. Brings it forward. Here comes a shot on one touch. Knocked down by Callie Goodman as Halstenson tried to bring the ball forward. It might have been a cross, but it certainly had the look of a shot. Cailin Belda able to get onto it near the corner flag. Works it forward for Lambert. Not offside. Lambert has it touched off of her by Megan Kappa, and Kappa tries to clear it. Knocked down again by Belda, and body off for a moment by Curran. Popped up in the air by Kappa. Last touch from Belda, and DVC have earned a goal kick. So the offensive action will come to an end for a moment, and we are almost into the final 10 minutes. Depending on the Delta result as they face Modesto, a win today could put DVC into 5th place on 7 points. Going to be Megan Elms to uncork this goal kick as we are now inside 10 minutes, just a second or two ago. Elms driving long towards Lizzie Chavez. It actually hits off the head of Darcy Forsyth, but it goes back behind her and out for a DVC throw-in just ahead of midfield on the far sideline. And And the fans have arrived bit by bit over the course of the game. We even have Athletic Director Christine Worsley pacing a little bit behind us. The throw coming for the Vikings. Avery Van Horn going down the near sideline. A touch from Forsyth, but she's not able to settle. Marissa Barros does. Knocked back for Van Horn. She tries to play the ball forward, takes a deflection, and it's out for another throw. This is, of course, the desired modus operandi right now. Keep the ball away from Megan Elm's goal and drain time off that clock. Avery Van Horn, long throw, finds a streaking Lizzie Chavez near the corner flag. Up steps Frostick, and she's able to play the ball out. No, it did not take a touch off of Lizzie. It's another throw in for DVC, taking full advantage of the absence of any offside rule on a throw in. And so it'll be a throw again. Van Horn forward, gets it to Barros, tries to knock it back for a teammate. Unable to do so, but she is now battling against the 21, Darcy Forsyth, who does earn a throw-in. But a good minute 20 spent in that whole sequence of throw-ins there, and at this point, the Vikings will take it. And this throw-in now is headed forward by DVC, claimed by Marissa Barros. She's got Cailin and Gonzalez in the middle. Unfortunately, she splits them, but Picano's not able to get onto it. Comes free for Cailin, touches it onto her right. Cailin from the right, tries to fire. Looks like it might have taken a deflection, and it will be an easy pickup here for Morgan Jernigan. Santa Rosa will be desperate to get forward, but the goal kick knocked down for a moment by Gonzalez. She bodies up Picano. Ball claimed by Hannah Masleski. No fouls given whatsoever. Worked to the right side looking for the run of Chavez. Intercepted there, however, by Forsyth. But good recovery there from Masleski, who has earned a throw-in for the Vikings by playing it off of Forsyth, and the Vikings remain in control. Here's the throw-in. One touch from Studdert. Comes through to Frostick, but the clearance is deflected nicely by Barros, and Gonzalez is able to settle. Plays it towards Cailin, and Yaz Jaime able to settle it after a couple of deflections from Molinas. Here's Yazzie. Going to drop it back now for Kappa. Worked for Cailin at the middle of, at the left side, toward the left corner of the box. Tried with one touch to put it into the center, left it open for a clearance. Here comes the throw-in, looking for Cailin. Up over her back was Kane. She gets a touch to it, however. Kappa looking to go back down the wing. One touch from Kane, but it falls right to Cailin, and Kane has fallen down. Here's Julia, working her way to the left side. Squares it, trying to find Barros, but Studdert crosses in and is able to get to that. So Kendra Kane just adjusting shoelaces at this point after that tumble. Cailin doing good work over here, particularly with her feet when she's on the move. Passes have left a little bit to be desired here and there, but she has been an absolute terror against Kane. And she will move for this throw-in, headed away by Kane. Kappa back onto it, tries to touch it into the center on the follow-through. Looked like she might have been fouled by Alinas, but nothing's given. Here's the long ball forward for Santa Rosa. Callaway gets to it after it's just over Callie. And Callie looks a little worse for the wear after that. Hannah Masleski able to finally settle the ball. She plays it back for Van Horn a little long. Van Horn will give one touch and give it back to Megan Elms, who's going to uncork a long ball. Is it falling for Masleski? Almost. She heads the ball forward, claimed again by Santa Rosa. Stepping up was Van Horn for a moment. Brie Gonzalez still trying to get onto it against Picano. That's been a heck of a battle all game long. Picano wins it, gets it to Belda, who tries immediately to feed, Lambert, who tries to feed Belda. Cleared away by Kappa. Knocked down at the midfield by Brie Gonzalez, taking it away from Picano. And here's Marissa, and she's got JC screaming down the left. She needs to feed somebody. Here's Marissa, still Marissa, cutting it onto her right, now onto her left. Marissa at the top of the box. Needs to find a teammate, drops it back now for Yasmin Jaime. Yazzie is going to try for the far post! And boy, she had the aim on it, but it didn't quite have enough height to beat Jernigan from there. Ninth shot of the game for the Vikings, fourth on goal, and it's Yazzie immediately settling Jernigan's long goal kick. Unfortunately, her layoff back to Kappa is intercepted by Lambert and immediately played off of DVC's number 2. Throw in coming, and they're going to try to scream it down the right wing for Belda as it's launched long by Kane. Belda touches it away from one defender. Lambert squaring, look out here, trying to lay it into place for Picano, and luckily it's too long for her, and Lizzie Chavez is able to get onto it and put it out for a Santa Rosa throw. Substitution was being readied. I can't tell if they made it or decided otherwise. At any rate, it is a throw-in, 5 minutes exactly to go in this second half. We are in the 86th. Avery Van Horn whipped to ground after a clearance, and she is on the deck, rolling a little bit. That is it's going to be the 7th foul of the game registered there. Van Horn back to her feet. seems to be all right. The Vikings will have a chance here to let a little more time bleed off the clock. Callie Goodman will take this free kick in absolutely no hurry. 4:25 to go. Here comes Goodman's free kick. Falling in the direction of Marissa Barros, bodied up well by the number 17 Nadlinger. Ball popping up in the air again now, and it's going to be Bri Gonzalez to get to it. Puts it down the right wing now for Lizzie Chavez. Cuts her run centrally. Lizzie trying to refeed Barros. It's deflected away though by Studdert. Picano actually hopping to try to get around one player, but Hannah Mosleski able to get onto it and can't quite keep it in play as she dives. So the tactics, of course, changing at this point. Up 1-0 with 4 minutes to go. You just want to hold that ball as far away from Megan Elm's goal on the far right side of the field as you possibly can. Throwing coming down Newlander down the sideline, gets it to Forsyth. Up steps Avery Van Horn. Ball played through. Looks like it took a deflection off Van Horn. It'll be another throw in for Santa Rosa. It'll be Needlinger again. She winds up a little more, goes down that sideline. Flying over is Avery Van Horn. Lizzie Chavez settles, and now with a chance to run into a little space, it's Hannah Mosleski. She's hit the accelerator almost too hard as she nearly lost the ball. Drops it back for Bri. Played down the right wing for Lizzie. Can she run onto it before it heads out of play? Not quite. At Bri's, as we mentioned, also going near sideline to far sideline, likely pushed Gonzalez's attempt away, but we are now down to 3 minutes. Throw in to come. And it is taken back again by DVC. Hannah Mosleski. Now Gonzalez. Nice for Jaime. One touch to Marissa. Puts it square for JC. Puts it onto her right. Trying to get around it. Floods it through for Lizzie, who shoots, but she's offside. Not a bad idea there by JC. Didn't quite have the room to take a rip. And here comes the substitution. Daisy Lozano will re-enter. And JC is going to come off in her place to add a little bit more defensive heft. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Long ball here, headed away by Avery Van Horn, and a foul given for that as she rushed in. I didn't really see arms up or anything like that. That looked all ball to me. But at any rate, it will be a foul and a free kick, 5th of the day against DVC, and we are right at the 2-minute mark. Clock about to stop here at Vikings Field. 89th minute. Ball just behind the midfield stripe. A free kick to be taken by Halstonson from the far sideline. Now the clock stops at the 1:51 mark, and we will wait for the final whistle. Here's the long drive. Touched forward by Alinas. Popped up in the air looking for Belda. It runs for her. Belda! Saved Megan Elms! Belda not able to get quite enough onto that. And Elms is able to dive and smother that live grenade. Here's a long drive by Elms. Headed forward by Needlinger. Alinas will control at the center circle. Alinas working forward, trying to find Belda. Knocked free by Megan Kappa. Falling towards, oh look out, that header goes back behind the Santa Rosa player, and Lizzie's able to get onto it, trying to knock it by Needlinger. Not quite able to do so. Needlinger gets a touch to it, but it will be a DVC throw-in at the far sideline. 1 minute to go. The Vikings will be trying to hold this ball down at this sideline as we are in minute number 90. No stoppage time to be given, no injuries during this half. Minimal substitutions. Most teams have been pretty happy with what they've put out there. Here's the throw in, and the Vikings will try to hold it down here and make time disappear. Mara Alinas brings the ball forward, not able to keep it in play. Vikings earn another throw in. They're trying to hold the ball down in the corner. Here comes that throw. Lizzie Chavez trying to hold it, unable to do so. Played away now by Santa Rosa, only as far as Bri Gonzalez. Bri works it to Lizzie. Centered up for Marissa. Marissa plays it forward, and to nobody in particular. Cleared away, and here it is falling in the direction of Julia Lambert, who's trying to get around Callie Goodman. Goodman equal to the challenge, and Goodman will send it going back the other way. Time ticking away. We await the final whistle. Jernigan claims it at the top of her 18. Jernigan. And that is a DVC victory against Santa Rosa today. The first time in at least a decade that the Vikings have beaten the Santa Rosa Bear Cubs. They turn around recent history, they turn around more remote history, and on a goal from Hannah Harris, they have won today. We will send it back to a very happy VSRT Studios for final comments
highlights, and scores from around the Big Eight. But the score that matters to us today, the final score, DVC 1, Santa Rosa 0.
Thanks for tuning in to Vikings Soccer Rewind, everybody. That bit of metaphorical sunshine breaking through the literal clouds is the last we're going to see of the 2014 Vikings on our series. After earning just a single draw in their next 4 matches, they finished the season with 3 consecutive shutouts, including 3-0 wins over American River and Sac City, and a 0 draw at Santa Rosa to extend a 3-year playoff qualification streak to 4. Now, we've already gotten a taste of what the 2014 freshmen had become by 2015, and next Friday we'll visit in with them again as they host San Joaquin Delta for a match with big playoff implications. At halftime, we'll catch up with 2015 offensive MVP Hannah Mazaleski and former assistant coach Matt Kendall. Until then, this is Joe Hickey, wishing you sweet, nostalgic dreams of green. So long.